so no head. I try not to speak. It just comes out as gurgling sounds, and I don't know what to do with it. It's gross. It is very repulsive, to say the least. I'm just going to be writing down your comments. No comments. I'm just going to be writing down what I can observe from you. I'm just going to gather the details up visually as opposed to listening, because frankly, whenever you speak, it's just blood bubbling up from the wound, and it's not a good sound. It is not a good sound. So I am going to examine the wound thoroughly, make my notes, move on with my day, cry, maybe pass out, vomit, and hope that my days of seeing things like this come to an end someday. I mean, talk about the violence in New York. It's typically just, I didn't expect this much in such a small town in the middle of nowhere. So I shouldn't have left the school to this house. But, yeah, so I am going to examine you now. Please try and refrain from uttering a single sound. The guttural sounds are just gross. It's absolutely disgusting. So let me just see just a little neck flaps you have here. Oh, how unsightly. Okay. Well, it seems that the neck flaps have been cauterized, so whatever cut your head off was very, very hot. It's still warm to the touch, and that's a note to write down. Cauterized wound, warm to the touch. It was also very... I have to mentally prepare myself for this. Mentally prepare. Okay, bare hands now. Bare hands, touching you with my bare hands. It's a very flat, sharp slice. It did not have any struggle going through. It was at one blow that it just swept through. So either the person was very strong, or it was a machine that did it. But according to what I believe, even though it's never given any credence, I believe that it was the Headless Horseman, but people never believe me. One foul sweep of a blade, one blow. Yes, the reason, please stop making sounds, that no one believes me is that they considered me a superstitious crock. They think that I focus too much on witchcraft and that my penchant for the mythological, historical influences my judgment too much. They respect my anatomical knowledge, but they don't respect my judgment. And that is something that I struggle with, considering how there is an abundant amount of evidence leading to my conclusion, but they don't want to believe what I'm saying because they probably either fear the results or they're just too ignorant to believe in it. I mean, if every person that has been killed had their head sliced off in one blow, and they're all within the town of Sleepy Hollow, and there is some prophecy that states, I mean, it only adds up to the one singular explanation, which is there is a headless horseman riding through, wreaking its vengeance on the people of Sleepy Hollow. And I just don't understand why no one believes me, but it's frankly the tell of the time. Now, your blood has already been bubbling up and sort of scabbing over. It's been oxygenated for a while now, so that reveals that your wound happened a while ago. I'm not going to ask the question. Please refrain from answering. Your wound occurred perhaps 2 days ago. 2 or 3 days ago, I would place it. But if it happened 2 or 3 days ago, why wouldn't you come sooner? If my head was chopped off, I would run. Oh, that's why. You had difficulty finding us, didn't you? Don't answer the question. but you had difficulty finding us, and that's why it took you 2 or 3 days to find us, because you didn't have a head that guided you towards civilization. So, head was cut off 2 or 3 days ago. Took 2 or 3 days to find civilization. Due to head being cut off. Sound explanation. Sound and valid explanation. Now, I would ask you what is the last thing you saw before your head was cut off, but frankly, I don't want to hear it. I've already received several patients coming with heads not connected to their bodies anymore, and I've said once and I've said it 1,000 times, stop sending me these people. But the people of Sleepy Hollow frankly don't have any knowledge of anatomical information. They don't have a doctor, and the doctors they've had have no understanding of what's going on. They frankly can only cure the most simple of ailments. For example, a cough. Not necessarily, for lack of a better word, a flesh wound. So, let us continue examining your decapitation. So, let us just look at the results. Oh, okay. Oh, that's your pulse. Your skin peels away from your neck, which indicates that you are now decomposing. We are in the rotting stage of your decapitation. Repulsive, to say the least. Let me just make my notes. Decomposition has begun, and this is the most disturbing and disgusting part of this. I believe there is something buried in your neck, deep in your neck. A lump is in there, and I'm going to have to excavate it out. Because it might tell me more about what happened here. Keep still. I just have to peel back this rotting flesh, this rotting skin, put my fingers in there and just fish out this. Examine that later. Bug-like creature found inside individual's neck. Putrid smell emanating from the wound. Symptom of putrefaction. This was thoroughly disgusting. But I've seen it once before, and I'll see it again. It is only going to keep happening as long as these judges, these magistrates, don't believe me. Because, frankly, there is a headless horseman riding through right now. Just spreading mischief and chaos where he goes. Slicing heads off, and no one is doing a single thing about it. Absolutely disgusting and completely avoidable. And I will be submitting my results to the magistrates and judges of this town, hoping that they finally concede to my viewpoint, and if they don't, then I'll continue persisting and studying a history of this town and relating it back to my studies of the occult. I hope you get better. It's not like I can sew your head back on. They stole your head. So just try and navigate your way out of my quarters. Okay, just try.